spot despite going 13-3 and reaching the NFC Championship game. Right behind Green Bay at 2 were the Eagles due to the competitiveness of the NFC East. So, Shannon, do you agree with this?
Man, Gil really extended himself. Skip, you know Gil a long time. I know Gil. I see him every year I go back to the Super Bowl. Gil is, I think, 87 years of age. He was the one that built the Cowboys team. He drafted Bob Lilly, Michael Irvin, Randy White, all those greats. So Gil's resume is impeccable, Skip. But I think the thing for me, when I look at it, I can see Green Bay. And it's not because of what happens on the field. I think they got some turmoil brewing, Skip. I think they created something that didn't need to be created, and I think it's going to be a problem. And in each one of these teams, there's only one team, I really think. When you look at it, I think it's Minnesota. I don't think I don't think Chicago, I don't think Detroit is a threat. Philly, I think the only threat is the Cowboys. But Cowboys, they win. Skip, you already know what y'all gonna do. It breaks my heart to know that you're gonna be disappointed again. You think I like this, but I really don't. Because when you hurt, I hurt. And when you're hurt, I'm hurting, but I'm laughing as soon as I get from in front of you. So, oh, you know that, huh? But I think it's Green Bay, Skip, because I think what transpired with them moving up to take Jordan Love, Skip, I think they created a problem. I really do, and I think it's going to have a rippling effect throughout that team, and I can see, yeah. So I do agree with Gil's list, number one, but Philly ain't losing that division.
Okay, let me take them one at a time. Green Bay was fluky last year. I'm still not sure how Green Bay went 13-3 and got to the NFC Championship game with what was the 15th best offense, the 15th best points scored last year. They did have a surprisingly good defense. It finished 9th in points allowed. So it was a top 10 defense, sort of out of left field, out of nowhere. But how many Mondays did we come in and say, we're not sure how Green Bay won that game or that one or that one? Aaron Rodgers had his career worst QBR and his career worst completion percentage. Those ranked 18th and 21st among quarterbacks, respectively. And I thought Aaron Jones was actually more valuable last year than Aaron Rodgers. Pro Football Focus ranked him 5th of the running backs. But I still say it was mostly the turnover differential. They were tied for 3rd that got them through the night and tilted the playing field occasionally in their favor when it didn't deserve to be. So, again, fluky. Do I trust Kirk Cousins? Not exactly. Fox Bet has both these teams over-under on wins at 9, so they both look like 9 and 7-ish kind of teams. I thought Minnesota had a better draft. I like the first 2 picks. I like Justin Jefferson. I like Jeff Gladney a lot out of TCU. I think those are 2 good first-round picks. And you're right, Aaron now has an issue hanging over his head and shoulder pads. Do they really want this kid to play sooner than later? Which brings me to another quarterback controversy self-inflicted in Philadelphia. They draft Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round. I think it's going to be hard on Carson Wentz. I just think on paper, Dallas just got better. It's close, but the Cowboys got better. They have a better head coach. They had a better draft because I think they had the best draft. They stole CeeDee Lamb in the 1st round. They added pieces on defense, draft, and free agency. It just got better. I'm sorry it did. And they went out and signed a top 5 kicker in place of the worst kicker in football last year, Brett Maher, Brett the Threat, as I called him, who had the worst stats in the league and cost them, I believe, 2 games, and they went 8-8, so they could have been 10-6. I give Dallas the edge. Now, I'm going to sum this up by saying the team most likely to fall out of the top spot is the one Gil Brandt picked at number 4. I believe the Patriots are ripe to fall. And Shannon Sharp, guess what team plays the toughest schedule next year off records from last year? New England does. New England got worse. They lost Brady. They obviously didn't have Gronkowski. I kept waiting for Belichick to do something in free agency and something in the draft, and he did next to nothing. They are going forward with Jared Stidham in place of Tom Brady. Are you kidding me? I think that they're going to be lucky to finish 8-8. Buffalo is better. On paper, Miami is better now. Miami had a very good draft and a terrific free agency. And again, Ryan Fitzpatrick got hot at the end of the year. He beat the Eagles. He won at Foxborough. He went 80 yards against Belichick's defense to win the game in the last 2 minutes in Foxborough. So could they be better? They could be better. The Jets are still the Jets. I'm sorry, but they are. But when I look at the schedule, I'm looking at non-division games for the Patriots next year. The away games, they have to go to Houston, go to Kansas City, go to both LAs, big cross-country trips, go to Seattle. And at home, they have to deal with Baltimore and San Francisco on top of the Buffalo games and the Miami games. They're going to be lucky to finish 8-8. To me, they're not going to win the division. So I'd say the best odds to fall, I would put on the Patriots.
Skip, I think the biggest, but that just goes to show you, and I think the number one reason why he didn't put them number one was Coach Belichick. I think the thing is he's looking at it, do I trust Sean McDermott? Do I trust the coach at Miami? Brian Flores, he basically said, I trust Coach Belichick. And that depleted offense more so than I trust these other coaches, even though they've upgraded their entire team. And so that's the way I'm looking at it. But I look at Philly, Skip, they're going to get Lane Johnson back, who missed the last month. They'll get D-Jack, who missed basically all of last year. They get Alshon back. They traded for Goodwin. They traded for, they drafted Jalen Reagor. Skip, I believe they're going to be better. The tackle that they selected last year, first round, he fills in for Jason Peters. Skip, I believe they're going to be better than last year. So, yeah, they got this one in the bag. NFC East champ. Go on and send me my shirt. I'm going to get me an Eagles shirt already. NFC East champ 2020, baby. In the bag. In the money. Got it already.
Who's your starting quarterback? Who is it? Jalen Hurts?
Don't worry about all that.
Jalen Hurts is going to take you to the playoffs?
Who is your starting quarterback? Is it Andy Dalton? Is it Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton's going to lead us to the playoffs.
Okay.
10 wins.
Okay.
10-6. Old 10-6 Andy. I got the red rifle.
I really hope that. Okay, BB gun. That what you got? Like you told me, the musket. Oh, now he the red rifle. When you was thinking about him going to New England, he was the musket. Now he the red rifle again.
Okay,
but I hope Dak is watching this.
Okay.
I hope Dak is watching this. Dak, you see how quick your man done turned on you, Dak. I hope you watch it.
Yeah. Get it done, Dak. Get it done.
The first thing I thought about when Jalen Hurts went to the Eagles was, how is Skip going to handle this? Because that is seriously what I was thinking about. All right, did Michael Jordan go a bit too far with his competitiveness? Yeah, we'll dive in next.
To the list, I don't know if people remember Craig Hodges. I know you do, Shannon. Because he played with Michael Jordan on his first 2 championship teams. And 3 years ago, Craig Hodges wrote a book called The Triumphs and Struggles of an NBA Freedom Fighter. In '91, before Michael played in his first finals against Magic, because of the Rodney King beating here in the LA area at the hands of 4 white police officers, Craig Hodges encouraged Michael and Magic to boycott Game 1 of the finals, take a stand for the black community and racial injustice, social injustice. And he says in the book that Michael just flat out told him that's crazy, and that Magic told him that's just too extreme. And Craig said his response was, what's happening to the black community right now is very extreme. And because of his outspoken stances against Michael and the league, after another year and one more championship, he basically got, as you call it, whiteballed from the league, and his career was over at age 32. And remember, he's one of the greatest three-point shooters ever. He won 3 straight three-point contests at All-Star Weekend. So there's another name of a guy who risked his career to
risked
try
it
to
all.
make a statement. He wasn't a star, but he risked it all.
And remember, Skip, he said that he actually tried to give, if I'm not mistaken, I forget who the president was at the time. It might have been 91, 92.
Bush.
So it might have been
First Bush.
Bush. First, the
Yes,
dad.
the first.
And he tried to, because Skip, remember everybody said, well, instead of just being so outspoken, why don't you go sit down with the president and try to talk